Hi there, boys and girls, and welcome back to Conquering Math, where it all adds up. Today we will be learning about algebraic equations with two variables. Let's dive on in. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to write and identify solutions to an algebraic equation with two variables that represents a real-world problem. The Common Core State Standard today is 6 EEC9. First, let's talk about a few of the important vocabulary terms that we need to know. A solution is a pair of numbers that makes an equation with two variables true. We usually write the solution as an ordered pair, x, y. An independent variable is the variable that you can choose to change. The independent variable corresponds to the x-coordinate when graphing. The dependent variable is changed by the independent variable. In other words, it depends on the independent variable. The dependent variable corresponds to the y-coordinate when graphing. For example number 1, we will need to determine if the ordered pair is a solution to the equation. For part A, we will look at y equals 4x, and the ordered pair that we will be testing is 3, 12. The first thing that we need to do is substitute 3 in for x and 12 in for y. Notice the question mark above the equal sign because we're not sure if it's true yet. We know that 4 times 3 is 12, so 12 does equal 12. 3, 12 is a solution to y equals 4x because it makes the equation true. Now let's take a look at part B. 2x equals y plus 3, and we'll look at the ordered pair 5, 8. We substitute 5 in for x and 8 in for 3. And then we have 10 on the left side and 11 on the right side. 10 does not equal 11, so we know that 5, 8 is not a solution to 2x equals y plus 3 because it does not make the equation true. For example number 2, we will take a look at the equation y equals 100 minus 5x, which gives your score y on a quiz if you answer x questions incorrectly. For part A, we need to identify the independent and dependent variables in this equation. We know that the score on the quiz, which is y, depends on the number of questions that you answer incorrectly, which is x. So the number of incorrect questions is the independent variable, and the score is the dependent variable. For part B, we need to know what your score will be if you answer 3 questions incorrectly. In this case, we need to use 3 as the value for x to solve the equation. So we start with y equals 100 minus 5x, and we substitute 3 in for x, so we have 100 minus 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, so we find y equals 85. Your score on the quiz will be 85% if you answer 3 questions incorrectly. For example number 3, we are going to write our own equation using two variables. You had 20 gallons of gas in your pickup truck this morning. The truck uses 3 gallons of gas per hour. Write an equation that represents the amount of gas, G, that your pickup truck has left after driving for h hours. So first we'll come up with our plan. We know that the amount of gas will equal the gas that we had at the start of the day minus the gas used per hour times the number of hours spent driving. In this case, our variables are G, which is the amount of gas, and H, which are the hours spent driving. So now we can write our equation. G equals 20 minus 3H. In example number 4, we will use the equation from example 3 to create a graph that models the gas remaining in the truck after driving for h hours. In order to help us do this, we'll create a table that we can use to find the ordered pairs, and then we'll graph each pair. So we set up our table, and we have columns for the hours, the equation, the amount of gas left, and the ordered pairs. Next, we plug in the hours into the equation, and then we solve each equation to find the amount of gas left. Finally, we write in our ordered pairs. After 1 hour, we have 17 gallons of gas left. After 2 hours, we have 14 gallons. 3 hours, we have 11 gallons, and 4 hours, we have 8 gallons of gas left. Finally, we'll plot each of these on a coordinate grid, and that will be our graph. notice that the line goes down because we are using gas as time goes on, so the amount of gas left in the tank decreases each hour. Remember to put an arrow on the end of your line because this continues until the gas tank is empty. Today you learned how to write and identify solutions to an algebraic equation with two variables that represents a real-world problem. The Common Core State Standard today was 6 EEC9. Now that you are familiar with these techniques, complete the independent practice problems in your guided notes packet. Then watch the independent practice solutions video to check your work. Thanks for watching this episode of Conquering Math, where it all adds up. I'll see you next time.